Bishop Rolando Alvarez. This week is the 1-year anniversary of his arrest. You may have heard his name in imperialist propaganda coming from the United States or from journalists or media outlets funded by exiled Nicaraguan oligarchs like the Chamorros, who are now lobbying for genocidal sanctions against Nicaragua in front of the United States Congress. They say Alvarez's arrest is a part of an anti-Catholic campaign to oppress opponents of the government. But my investigation last year, where I traveled to Matagalpa while Alvarez was under house arrest, proved that to be false. They also say he is a political prisoner, but anyone familiar with Alvarez knows that is not true. Here are some basic facts. Bishop Alvarez supported attempts to violently overthrow the government. He encouraged his supporters to support violent opposition protests. His arrest has been a long time coming, and Alvarez continued to criticize the government while using radio stations to call for the violent overthrow of the government. So the Socialist Sandinista government accused him of insurrection. He was tried, convicted, and sentenced to 26 years in prison. He was permitted to go to the United States with a number of other prisoners, yet at the last minute, he refused. Initially, he was also under house arrest, later being sent to prison. When I was in Matagalpa, my source, a lifelong Matagalpa resident, told me that Alvarez had tried to convince the cardinal to have his supporters in the church march from the church to the courier house where he was on house arrest and have his supporters overwhelm the police and free him. The cardinal and the Vatican seemingly denied this request. But that's not all. There are even people who worked for Alvarez who worried that they were under threat of violence from him or somebody acting at his behest. And the icing on the cake, Alvarez admits that his church has many Sandinistas in it. While Alvarez's supporters tried to paint him as some sort of Nelson Mandela figure, the facts show that this could not be further from the truth. And oppression against the Catholic Church in Nicaragua, it's a complete absurdity.